shit. I swallow. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerd is the New Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, with my co-host.
This is Eli.
Yep. And we're back in the episode. And guess what, Eli? We have hit a milestone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This is the 50th episode.
No shit.
Yeah. We've been hanging in that long. Even though
I was not even aware of that.
Yeah, it just popped up. I wouldn't even wear it either. I just looked at the numbers. I was like, last episode was 49, so like 50. But you know what? Since it's a comic book episode and it's a comic book podcast, we really don't count 50. 50 is nothing. 52 is what matters.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. That's the milestone because 52 is 52 weeks in a year for those that not keeping score. That will make it a complete year. Even though 50 is a good milestone, we've been hanging in there before and been bringing different type of topics and things like that. So, Eli, so this weekend I was kind of torn. I thought I was gonna have, my attention span brought two different ways, but everything fixed itself out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because there were two things going on this weekend. One was E3, electronic electronic something expo, whatever, and the NBA Finals. So I was thinking my time was going to be divided between both because I didn't know, oh man, do I choose between video games or do I choose between sports? Actually, I would have chose sports. But, like I said, it worked itself out because the Cleveland Cavaliers actually got swept in the playoffs. So that whole, so the NBA series season ended Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I didn't have to worry about, conflicting between the stuff. Otherwise, I would have been doing NBA Final Sports in the podcast.
Hockey ended it Thursday?
What was their score? The series.
It was Washington, the Capitals beat Vegas. And then people were kind of like following Vegas, because it was their first year and plus with the tragedy in Vegas. So it's been kind of like their, people had their eye on the Vegas team, but Washington is like their first Stanley Cup and they've been in it since the 40s or whatever, so they finally got their win, and I was hoping they were gonna riot in DC and like burn down the White House and shit, but they didn't.
They know where to riot in DC. They know where to go and where not to go.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Other than that, nothing else happened. Like I said, we got a chance to talk about E3, and we'll talk about it later on. Well, at least I will. Like I said, we're going to turn this to a video game section. We haven't talked about it in a while. But until then, Eli, I guess we can head right to the box office numbers.
Sure.
Yeah, because these numbers pretty much played out how you expect them to play out. Eli, give it to me. What you think number one was?
I heard, surprisingly, Ocean's 8 got the number one spot.
Ocean 8's got the number one spot. It hit 41 million, so it was actually pretty convincing opening spot. Let's see where it finished off like worldwide with like that. So it did about 41 million for the weekend, which is respectable for Ocean. Like I said, this isn't a $300 million budget or anything like that, so it'll make its money back and it'll be fine. Eli, did you get a chance to see it, or did you even care to see it?
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't really seen. I only seen the first one, Ocean's 11, way back. God, was it in the 90s? How long ago was that?
Was it? I don't know. I guess. That's all. I've only seen the first one. I think I saw the first one, and I may have seen the second, but I can't remember if I've seen it or not. Third one, I was like, nah, I'm done. I've had enough.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the Frank Sinatra ones back in the 60s and whatever. So, I'm like, whatever. So here's what I want to ask you about that before we move on to like the rest of the list. So this is, like I said, an all-female reboot or remake or whatever you want to call it of Ocean 11. So where do you think this succeeded where Ghostbusters failed?
Probably because it's a smaller movie and it didn't have a huge following. Like Ghostbusters is like, we all remember Ghostbusters from, that was such a huge hit and a big part of our childhood. And so we have all these expectations going in there, and when they changed everything up, people are like, what the fuck? Whereas this, the only people who care about this are old folks.
Yeah, pretty much this, old folks. And I guess women, because I know a bunch of women actually went to see the old Oceans movie because they thought it was like eye candy and shit like that. So it already kind of appealed to a kind of a female demographic anyway. Yeah. So you just put females in it. It's kind of like, okay, we're cool with that, because women like to see who was all in the movie. George Clooney and Brad Pitt and That other guy, I can't remember. Anyway,
Bernie Mac
whoever,
in the first one.
yeah, whoever makes the panties wet, that was in that movie.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to make Ocean 8 that.
Andy Garcia, wasn't he the bad guy?
Yeah, in one of them, I can't remember. Either all of them or one of them, something like that. Yeah, he was a thing too. I guess he was like sexiest men, something or whatever. I don't know. I didn't read that list. But what I was gonna say. Okay, do you think like because like I said, everybody keeps saying now Ghostbusters was one of the biggest flops we've ever seen. Like it was like easily the biggest flop of 2016. So do you think sexism had a part in why that movie flopped? Because like I said, we're gonna get to that topic later on. We wanted to see what you think about that one.
I think, there's that toxic, fragile male egos out there that are, and I think that was part of it, And plus, I didn't think the movie was that good. I mean, I didn't see it. I didn't think it was...
Bingo. That's what it was. The movie fucking sucked. The trailer fucking sucked. I don't think the sexism thing hurt Ghostbusters as much as the marketing material made us think it did. Now, yes, we know there are a bunch of man babies online that are toxic community that were harassing the women, nothing like that. But to say that Ghostbusters flopped because of sexism, that would mean that all of us are sexist. I mean, because I didn't see the movie, that means I hate women. No, that's not the case. So Paul Feig or whoever was in charge of the movie, you can stop blaming sexism on why your movie fucking sucked. Your movie sucked because your movie sucked. That's why.
Yeah.
The trailer scared everybody away. None of that shit was funny. The effects looked bad. It was nothing interesting about it. And bless it was just I saw the movie because I signed up for a movie service and they gave me the movie away free. So I watched this shit and I was like, oh, that's why I didn't see this shit. Okay. And plus, I do have to admit, now I hate to be like this, but the movie made every single man in that movie seem like a complete jackass, like a complete dumbass. And I think it went out of their way to make a man seem like a dumbass, like Chris Hemsworth or stuff like that. He was the dumbest dude I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah, he's a dumb blonde.
He was like dumb blonde past 11. It made me wonder, like, how does he function in life, thinking like this? And the main bad guy, and I spoiled the movie because who gives a fuck? Nobody saw this shit anyway. The main bad guy of the movie was actually like an internet troll. Like a 30-plus-year-old internet troll that stayed at home with his mom that was, attacking the Ghostbusters from behind and stuff like that. So the main people attacking the movie was the bad guy of the movie. And
now that I think about it, the only shit that made me laugh was probably Chris Hemsworth.
He was actually funny in the movie. Yeah. He really was, So that's when I saw Chris Hemsworth, and that's why I wasn't too mad about the Thor thing, because I remember in Ghostbusters, I was like, okay, he's taking Thor to a comedic level. But honestly, he was the funniest thing in Ghostbusters, so I'm like, he can take it there. It's okay because he has the comedic chops to do that.
Yeah.
So I had no problem with that. So yeah, but that's the difference between Ocean 8 and Ghostbusters. That's the reason why one succeeded and one didn't. One didn't scare people away because it didn't look like it was complete trash, and one did look like complete trash. So that's the difference on that.
Plus, I'm sure the budget, for Ghostbusters was through the roof, and this is just a bunch of chicks talking.
Exactly. So that's pretty much all it was. So Ocean 8 will make its money back. What else we have? Number 2, I just go down the list myself. Number 2 is Solo, a Star Wars story. Didn't have that big of a drop off. It was like a 48% drop off. So it was like, okay. Number 3.
This might be the last week you can see it in theaters, I bet.
They're getting this shit the fuck out of here. Exactly.
It's probably not going to be. Yeah, you want to see Solo in the theater again, Star Wars fans, better get your asses out there.
Or if you want to see it just to shit on and complain about it, hey, there's your last chance too. You want to see Lando fuck a robot? There you go. What else we have? Number 3, we have Deadpool 2 still hanging in there. Number 4 is Hereditary, which is, I'm surprised it's down that low. I actually thought Hereditary was going to be number 2.
I figured it'd be in the top 5 at least, but yeah. But yeah, I haven't seen it, but I hear it's supposedly the scariest movie ever. Again.
That's what I heard. Also, it's supposed to be the scariest movie of all time, and it's probably not. But
I really have no interest in seeing it because I'm not a ghost story kind of. I'm not into supernatural horror. I'm not into spirits and seances and possessions and all that shit. It's not me. I find them boring.
So you're into the slasher shit, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm into monsters and gore, and I'm into more physical horror. And my sister saw Hereditary, and she was raving about it, and I just said, "Am I gonna like it?" And she said, "No."
Oh, well, there you go.
So
this is not a horror movie for horror fans. Okay, that's a great way to sell your movie.
Yeah.
Going past that, we also have number 5, Avengers: Infinity War. Let's check
Number 5, huh?
Yeah, number 5. It kind of dropped down, but if you think about it, today is like the first week in June. It's gonna be on like a home release by the end of July, so it's
I'm
there.
like saying, I'm surprised it's still in the top 5.
Yeah, it's still hanging in there with all these. Well, I mean, it's not like a strong box office right now. Nothing's going on,
Yeah.
Although honestly, I thought it was gonna be a little bit higher than top 5. I thought it would beat, Hereditary or something like that. But hey, whatever. Right now, box office wide is at 1,998,000. So it's like still hadn't cracked 2 billion yet, but it's right on. It's getting there. It'll be there. Then just going down the list, we have 6 Adrift. That's that young adult cat swing movie. 7 Book Club, the old people movie. Number 8, Hotel Artemis. I'm kind of disappointed in that one, Eli. I thought that was going to do better.
Yeah, that's it was marketed all. I mean, I saw it all marketed all over the internet, and I don't know. Maybe people thought it looked too much like John Wick or something, because that's what I thought.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of like, okay, it looked like John Wick, I'll go see it. You think people would do that, but
John Wick, but without John Wick, I don't know. Or did Atomic Blonde fuck that all up for them or something?
Yeah, because Atomic Blonde kind of made, it's like John Wick, but it's with a chick. You're like, nah, it didn't look like that. So, wait, I didn't see Atomic Blonde. Was it good?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay, well. Well, there's your answer. Okay.
But I'm sure it's just like John Wick with a chick.
Yeah. We have number 8. We have Hotel Artemis. Number 9, Upgrade, which is still hanging in there. It didn't have a huge budget.
Oh, I want to see. That's what I want.
I'm hearing Upgrade is a really good movie. I'm pretty sure Upgrade is going to be one of those cult classics. If it ever comes on Netflix, it's going to be one of those movies that everybody. You remember when we were younger, and a movie nobody saw, but when it hit HBO, it took off and everybody knew about it.
Yeah.
That's how Netflix is now. Like if a movie hit Netflix, everybody knows about it,
Yeah.
Is HBO still a thing? I never hear anybody talk about. I mean, I know Game of Thrones and stuff like that, but like when movies hit HBO, is that a thing where we hit HBO? I finally see it now. I can talk about it.
I guess. I mean, I hear BBS was on HBO, and
nobody watched that shit.
They get the big movies,
Yeah. Well, I mean, Warner Brothers owns HBO, so and it's funny they show BBS like 3 times a day on HBO.
Yeah,
like please watch this movie, please. Oh shit! And number 10, Life of the Party. So yeah, all that's good and fine and dandy, but like I said, this week, did we do a box office bullshit or blatherskite this week? I don't remember if we did or not.
Did we like do summer? Wasn't it more about summer predictions or some shit?
Honestly, I don't remember. I was barely paying attention when Ryan was asking. Sorry, Ryan. We'll do better next week. We got a competition next week because next week I think Incredibles coming out. No, Eli, I'm not doing Incredibles thing. I probably won't see this shit, to be honest with you, unless somebody drags you screaming.
I probably won't either. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, my kid might see it. I mean, I think he doesn't even give a shit.
I just can't imagine you 30 plus, 35 plus getting excited over Incredibles. I'm like, okay, it's still a cartoon at the end of the day,
Well, it's funny because I bought it for my daughter because she's like really into action and she likes a lot of activity on screen, and I thought, she'd love this. But then every time I get her to try to watch it, I remember it takes so long to get going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That the first one, it's like damn. So she doesn't give a shit,
Because it's got the family drama going on and talking and stuff like that. So, and to be honest with you, the commercials, even though the commercials look cool, it looked like just a remake of the other one.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, it looked like instead of like the dad going to work, the mom's going to work.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess. It'll be popular. It'll make $1 billion. Disney will make all this money, so they won't miss my dollars. It's whatever. Yeah. So it's whatever. That being said, can we move on to the to the other part of the podcast now. Is this the part I
let's keep
feel like
trucking.
I guess we have to address this because everybody else has been talking about this situation, so we'll talk about it. So let's talk about Kelly Marie Tran. Yes, Kelly Marie Tran. If you don't know, she was Rose Tico in everybody's favorite movie, The Last Jedi, and she was everybody's favorite character. So, but apparently she has been getting harassed so much on Instagram that she just said fuck it and just deleted her account altogether. Deleted all the pictures, deleted everything, and the only thing left is on there is one model saying scared but still trying. I may be butchering it, but whatever, something to the effect of scared but still going on or something like that. So Eli, like I said, I know y'all got a chance to talk about it on Geek Sav. Just want to get a quick opinion from you about this, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's bullshit. It sucks being a Star Wars fan these days. I mean, these assholes make you ashamed of being a Star Wars fan. You know, I mean, it seems like the only people who hate Star Wars, you know, it's like the fans. They're the ones who hate Star Wars. It's like their own fans are their biggest haters.
Right.
You know. Nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
They've even canceled that. You know, they have this yearly celebration. They canceled it for this year.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, you know, I mean, like I said, we went into great lengths on Geek Savs about this, but pretty much, you know, if you don't like the movie, fine, but you don't have to attack someone personally for it. Like, she's just doing her fucking job, you know?
Right.
You know, and you know, and I feel really bad for her because, like, she basically got to live all our favorite, the Star Wars fan dream of being in a Star Wars movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now it's been just, you know, ruined by all these assholes, and it's like, you know, and that's another thing I think that sucks is, like, you know, they bitch about the character, but to me, she basically represented the Star Wars fan. I mean, they say, oh, her character had no point to the movie. There was no significant plot point to her being in the movie. No, she represented us. She represented, you know, the fandom of somebody lowly on the ladder who basically got a chance to be, you know, to do something in you know, be in this movie and do something, you know. And it coincides with the theme of The Last Jedi of you don't have to be royalty to make a difference, you know? Right.
That's why that's why Rey wasn't anybody special. Her parents was she was just a nobody, but she just had the Force. Yeah.
And Rose was just this mechanic who had a chance to do something and, you know, make a difference, and she took it. And that coincides with Star Wars. If you go back to A New Hope, I mean, it's right there. The movie starts out, you're watching two robots for like the first half hour. These lowly citizens, this slave labor force, you know, being drawn into this great conflict. You're seeing these big giant events through someone of a lower class, through the eyes of a lower class citizens. And that's what the droids were. So there's always been that thread through all these movies where you know, people from a lower class, you know, marginal background get a chance to make a difference. And that coincides with Luke being a farm boy. All of a sudden, he's a Jedi. You know what I mean? So that carries through all these movies. So to hear all these assholes, oh, her character sucks. Oh, there was no significance. I was like, yes, there was. You know, you just didn't get to see Jedi Jesus Luke. That's all you're pissing about. You know? Right.
You know? Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm just sick of the fanboys that are taking. I mean, it's just not the first time they've done this. I mean, this is actually like a pattern. Now, what they're doing with, and here's the thing: like a lot of times I hear people saying that sometimes they overblow this stuff, or the media is making this stuff up. They're not making this stuff up. I personally have seen this stuff way before this. I remember when, like for instance, every time Kelly Marie Tran is on like a YouTube video or doing any stuff like that, they have to disable the comments. Every single time, because they go off the rails and saying they don't want that traffic. And we actually did a podcast about this one of the episodes ago, where Star Wars had wished her happy birthday on Twitter.
Yeah.
And the racist assholes attacked her, like every single comment. It was disgusting, the stuff I was seeing on there. I'm like, How can you do this to another person? I don't understand this.
Yeah, over a movie you don't like.
Right.
You didn't like the movie. It's okay to not like some shit, but you don't have to attack her and call her all these racial slurs and
right.
Threaten her life and all this shit. It's
right,
like,
because you told me on her Wikipedia page some asshole changed her name to Ching Chong something.
Something, yeah, they changed. It's like, what the fuck?
Like,
man?
well, it doesn't take all this, man. And that's the toxic level that we're saying that these fanboys are doing. Now, people saying, oh, the internet's always been like this. Fandom is always like this. Fandom has not always been like this. Yes, it is. Every fan base has assholes. I give you that. This shit is going to a whole nother level. I've never seen this before, Eli. That's just me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can't, like I was saying, I can't even, I'm getting sick of talking about Star Wars. Like, I can't, like I remember I had a theory about Luke on from The Last Jedi, and I remember posting it, and it just turned into this huge bitch fest. Mm-hmm. It's like, all these, that movie sucked. Luke is such a bitch. I can't stand worst Star Wars movie. It's like, I didn't ask you if you liked the movie. If you don't like it, fuck off. Don't comment. I asked about this theory. Now
you see how I feel about DCEU posts anytime I try to do anything about DCEU.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like they suck the fun out of it. It sucks and shit, you know.
And it's the thing is, like, and I see a bunch of not fanboys, but I see a bunch of people saying that, well, since the internet's always that stuff, it's nothing you can do about these assholes. It's her fault for being on the internet. All she needs to do is either deal with it or delete her account. I'm like, you fucking asshole. First off, you're not famous. You don't get people attacking you online, notification all the day, and you just for you doing your job, just for them making you do your job. You're not in her situation. You can't say what you would do in her situation. And for you to say ignore her ignore them, and there's nothing you can do about it, there is something we can do about it. Now, look, Twitter and Facebook and all the Instagram stuff like that, they need to do a better job of stopping these assholes, for one thing. And no, it's not censorship. I'm tired of you fucking assholes not knowing what censorship is. This is not going against the First Amendment. Twitter, Facebook, social media, all these places are owned by a private company. They can choose what they want to put in, what they don't want to put on there. This freedom of speech is if you get arrested. That's all that is. Yeah. That's the same reason, freedom of speech, and this is the same reason you go to like a store and the person serving your food or waiting on you doesn't tell you to fuck off. Yeah. Because, they have the freedom of speech to do that, but they will lose their fucking job. Yeah. So much. That's the difference between that one. So they need to do a better job of monitoring this stuff because there's way too many assholes, way too much harassment going on in the internet right now. So since they can't do their job, you know what can be done, Eli? Yeah. We can do something about it. We can call out these assholes. You know, if we see bullying and we say, hey, you need to stop doing it. Hey, you need to do that. That's all you can do is just say stop. I'm not saying go on a crusade and make it your personal mission to stop every online bully. I'm just saying if you see some shit, stop it. It is nothing to just say, hey, stop doing it, and somebody else will, make sure or get them the fuck out of there also. Because that's all it takes. And I get these people online saying, well, you can't stop anything. You can't stop it just by telling people what to do. And here's my thing, Eli. You got all these people that know every single quote from every single comic book, everything, because that's all we know is people that read comic books, right? They can quote everything from all the way back to 1952, 1942. Oh, and X-Men 132, they did blah, 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 blah. They do all this stuff, but they can't take away the main message these fucking comic books are trying to tell you. If you have the power to do something about it. That's all that's what they've been telling you in every single one of these fucking books since we've been fucking 5 years old. So how can you say that there's nothing you can do about it? Yes, you can do something about it. Just do it. That's all you can do. I don't get it, Eli. I don't get it. Yeah. We know the smartest, dumbest motherfuckers in the world. That's
Yeah, there was I guess a group called something like the Down with Disney's treatment of the Star Wars franchise or whatever the fuck it was called. Mm-hmm. That was basically laying claim to there were the reasons why Kelly Marie Tran left left Instagram, and they were proud of their efforts to bring Star Wars, make Star Wars great again, or whatever the fuck, like they're the real rebel alliance, and they're not taking this anymore from it was basically a group on Facebook of a bunch of pissy, whiny fanboys whining about the movie, and I guess people, like, it went viral, like people started reporting the page. I don't think, I can't even get their page to load now. So maybe their page got taken down. So,
yeah, maybe the page got taken down or something. So yeah. And we've seen, and like I said, I've seen a bunch of pages like that before. That's just the most recent one, but I've always seen pages about, we're gonna, like when John Boyega was a stormtrooper, I saw pages jumping up about this saying they were gonna boycott. Daisy Ridley had to take down her Instagram page because she got harassed online. Jake Lloyd, the little boy that played Anakin in the prequel, we ruined his life. He wants nothing to do with Star Wars. George Lucas sold this shit because of you assholes. Why do you think he's not doing this shit anymore? He like, fuck you. Let somebody else have this headache, which is called Star Wars, Hayden Christensen quit acting. He didn't want anything to do with this shit because we harassed him too.
He's playing soccer now or some shit.
Yeah, some shit. He just like, fuck this. I want nothing to do with Star Wars. So you have these assholes that have been harassed. Alden Ulrich, that he's not even on social media because he didn't want to be bothered with this bullshit.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, all this shit, and it's fucked up, all the stuff they're doing, but the stuff they're doing to Kelly Marie Tran, that's like taking it a step too far. Like, they're really, because the other people, you could attack them for what they did. George Lucas, okay, he made certain choice, you don't like, you attack him for that. You're attacking Kelly Marie Tran for who she is. Yeah. Because the way she was born, you attacking her for that. You're going after her race. You're going after her sex. All these death threats, all these rape threats, and you're going after her, and that's just crossing the line,
Yeah.
And Eli, you see pictures of her on the internet. I'm like, it's like the sweetest thing in the world, man.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the thing. Here's my thing. Okay, y'all like to go for like Keira Knightley and Natalie Portman, stuff like that. Like the slim chick. Nah, that's what I go for. Kelly Chan, the way she said, that's what I go for right there. So give me that. Y'all can have the supermodels and Victoria's Secret model. Give me a chick built like Kelly Marie Tran and I'm good. But like I said, these assholes are always just taking shit way too far, just attacking people, and they're attacking because they think they can get away with it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they do, like they're making a difference, and like I mean, Anthony said it on Geek Sab. Like, this goes against everything what Star Wars was all about.
Right, like Star Wars, comic books, they all tell you the same things, don't use your authority or power or anything like gang up on other people. That's all what the bad guys do in these movies. Dick. Yeah, exactly.
Don't be a dick.
I don't understand it. And so we can move past this. I'm tired of talking about Star Wars in general. This shit is draining, man.
It is. It's totally exhausting.
Yeah, and last thing I'm gonna talk about today. I mean, like I said, we talk about this shit all the time, Eli. But at the same time, we have to admit the movie franchise. And I'm gonna say some controversial. I'm gonna say a hot take. Franchise wise, these movies hadn't even been that good. None of them. I mean, like I said, like the last good ones that everybody appreciated were in the 80s, 40 years ago. Like I'll give you A New Hope or Star Wars, whatever you want to call it, the first one. It invented the Hollywood blockbuster. Okay. Yeah. You can't take that away. George Lucas and Steven Spielberg created the Hollywood blockbuster. Every movie to this day that is probably, like even the Marvel movies, you can see the Star Wars DNA in those movies. Like Infinity War, you can see the threads like, okay, this is what it evolved to now. Empire Strikes Back, I think it's one of the top 5 greatest movies of all time, period. Not sci-fi, all you Gone with the Wind, Godfather, Citizen Kane, it's up there. In my book. And I've seen other...
and it elevated the mythology is what it did.
It elevated the mythology.
We didn't expect it to.
Yeah. It made movies more, but it made people think, okay, sci-fi, you can take this shit seriously now.
Yeah.
So it made people completely change their idea of what a sci-fi movie can be.
Yeah.
So
it was basically the MCU of the 80s. It legitimized nerds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can see the DNA of the MCU in Star Wars. Without Star Wars, there would be no MCU.
Yeah.
You can see that. But after that, that's when this shit went off the rails.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi is an acquired taste. I mean, I was 8 years old when the shit came out.
Right.
And I loved it. I didn't give a shit about Ewoks. I mean, I was 8 years old. I had a fucking
something about
Ewok.
it, Eli.
I had Ewok soap. I didn't give a shit. I was only 8 years old.
That's the problem.
But I could, if had I been a few years older, maybe I would have like those things that sucks. You know?
Yeah, and Eli, that's the problem right there. All this soap, all the toys, all the cars. George Lucas back in the day, he cut a deal that the way the deal was cut, he made more money off the toys than he made on the actual movies. Mm-hmm. And by the time the third movie came around, Return of the Jedi, you could see that was his focus.
Yeah.
He was more interested in making toys and making merchandise on the back end than the actual movie. That's why you got a bunch of killer teddy bears running around like this. Where the fuck this shit come from? You know? And that's why the whole movie is just a rehash of the first movie.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to blow up another Death Star with the same fucking weak point. Like, what the fuck is this?
It's just basically the greatest hits.
Yeah.
And it was the third, and given we didn't know we were going to have any more. That was it. That was it. We were done. Star Wars was done for fucking almost 20 years.
Now, here's my thing, Eli. Now, ever since then, like I said, two great movies. I think some of the greatest movies of all time, those two. Third one kind of around the rails. And I think ever since then, all we've been doing as Star Wars fans has just been chasing it high again.
Pretty much.
Can it be a good again? It can.
Yeah.
It may never can be again. That was lightning in a bottle. We may can never get that feeling again. The closest that we probably have gotten to that is only be Force Awakens. But it's only because that movie pushed our nostalgic buttons.
Yeah.
Because we knew that's gonna be the last time we see all three of those guys on the screen again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a big fan that I can never get enough of seeing the music and that logo pop up on the screen and walking out of the theater hearing that Star Wars fanfare music. I mean, I'll never get tired. I mean, that's just fun. I mean, I enjoy that, and I've gotten chances with the prequels to see that again, and with these new movies to see that again. Even Solo ends with the fanfare, and I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, that just warms my heart. I'll never get tired of that. But yeah, are the movies that good? Not really.
Yeah.
Now,
see, here's the thing. The reason Star Wars is still alive, even though the movies haven't been that good, it's not because of the movies. Now, I remember you saying, Eli, that the movies, like Star Wars, is inherently a movie franchise, and it is. That's how it started off. But the reason it's still alive is not because of the movies. It's because of everything else. It's because of the comics. It's because of the video games. Because of the cartoons. It's because of the toys. Some people appreciate the toys more than that. It's because of the EU novels. All of these things is what people have gotten into as far as Star Wars. And I'm pretty sure that everybody that's into Star Wars is more into the other shit than the actual movies that are coming out right now.
Yeah, because in those movies, yes, Luke is, all powerful,
I mean, I remember this video game. I can't remember that. It was some Jedi video game I was playing. And Luke Skywalker popped out of fucking nowhere. Killed everybody on the fucking screen. And told everybody, and then told me like, okay, good job, dude. You're doing pretty good. I'm finna go help out the rebels. Bye. And then just fucking flew off. Like,
I remember reading the comics between Empire and Jedi and like, and seeing Luke just be an ultimate badass.
It's the coolest shit I ever seen. Yeah.
Yeah. He looked like, he fucking looked like fucking Starsky and Hutch and like, with his mullet and his just flipping all over with his lightsaber and making out with fucking blue alien chicks and shit, Twi'leks and shit.
Like the Clone Wars, the prequel movies, right? The prequel movies sucked ass, right? The best thing that came out of that was the Clone Wars cartoon.
That show made the prequels cool.
Yeah, because I remember watching like Mace Windu and Yoda like snatching Star Destroyers out the sky. I'm like, what the fuck? I want to see that shit.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, I don't know, but that's what's been keeping the franchise long. And I guess people have and like the Star Wars Battlefront game, they're doing all kind of shit with this game. Even though EA has been screwing the pooch on this shit, they're gonna put the Clone Wars in the game. Like it's gonna be like free DLC or some shit, so you can pretty much relive that shit how you want to. So that's what's keeping the franchise going. But the movies aren't living up to what I guess people expectations are, stuff like that. They're not doing what people saw in the EU, not doing what people saw in the video game, not doing what they imagined in toys. And I don't know, and Eli, that's why you keep saying like Star Wars wasn't built like the MCU to like crank out movie after movie after movie and sustain itself. That's because the movies aren't that good. If Solo was a, like a epic ass movie, it would have made its money. If The Last Jedi hit its numbers like it's supposed to, Solo would have made its money. But the thing is, since they keep cranking out mediocre shit, that's why you gotta keep spacing this shit out so you can build a hype in between. Solo came out 6 months.
I mean, at the MCU, most of the MCU movies aren't that great.
That's true. That's true. And you can say we don't have the same expectations. You're right. Like,
but what they've got going on is they've built this sort of serialized storyline where each movie serves as a next chapter. Where you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they basically made serialized TV out of movies. We watch them like they're TV shows.
Mm-hmm. And each phase is like a season. Season 1, season 2, whatever.
Yeah. And that's never been done before, and they've succeeded. Star Wars were events. We didn't think we were going to get this shit again. We keep thinking we're not going to get this shit again, and now we're saying we're going to get it forever now. And I think it's the fans that are ruining. They're the fans' expectations that are ruining. They're not taking it for what it is, and they're expecting it to be they're chasing that dragon still. They're chasing the high of what it used to be, and that the point of The Last Jedi was to let all that shit go.
Right, which ended up pissing them off even more.
Yeah, yeah. And then here you have Solo. It's all about the past and nostalgia, and no one's going to see
That's what I understand. Like, people were pissed off. You having your SJW agenda. You're trying to kill off all the white men, and they give you a movie with a white man. You don't go see it. So, good job, assholes.
So it ain't Disney. It ain't Kathleen Kennedy. It wasn't George Lucas. It's y'all.
Exactly. You blaming whoever
Star
you want
Wars
to.
Fans are ruining Star Wars.
Exactly. That being said, let's move on to another technically Disney property, I guess. And I know you didn't chance to see this, Eli, but I'm asking anyway. Did you get a chance to see Cloak and Dagger?
I did not know.
I was really hoping you'd see it, man, because even though I'll be honest with you, Eli, you would hate this fucking show.
Okay. Well,
that's why I wanted you to see it.
That's why I totally want to watch it now.
That's why I wanted you to see it so I can be like, yes, you see this shit. I want to see you just rage in the foam. It's like fuck Cloak and Dagger, But you didn't take the bait. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because like I said, this is it's not even really a TV show. Like, they sort of kind of have powers that pop up every now and then, but it's just really just a teen angst TV show. That's all it is. Take Smallville and crank that shit up to 20. That's what it is.
I was tempted. I thought about it, but then I'm like, I don't give a shit. I mean, I did that with the Archie show, or what's it called?
Riverdale.
Riverdale, yeah. I watched the first episode of Riverdale because I remember, Archie comics. They like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and there's zombies, and like the Predator and the Punisher showed up on those comics. And then I was watching the pilot episode, and I'm thinking, man, the Predator's never gonna be on this fucking show.
Exactly.
Why do I give a shit? So I only watched the first episode, and I was like, no, not for me.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to Riverdale either, but this one kind of like Cloak and Dagger kind of reminds me of some Riverdale. Like, you could stick these guys in Riverdale and it'd just be the same shit,
Pretty much.
Yeah, and I will say this, that it kind of flipped the tables on it. I was thinking it was gonna be kind of opposite. Like, you expected like Cloak, the black dude, to be from from the hood or some stuff like that, and the white girl to be all up and stuff like that. It's actually the exact opposite,
Be like Save the Last Dance or some shit.
Yeah, I was thinking it was gonna be like that, but actually Cloak is from like the nuclear middle class, income family, and the white girl is from the broken home. I'm like, okay, I didn't see that coming. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Like,
so they're trying to be clever.
Yeah, they're trying to be clever. It was a like little twist, like they met. Basically, they met because she robbed him.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty clever too. So it plays with your expectations a little bit, But yeah, it's angsty. He's trying to be on the basketball team, and she's trying to get her mother's love, stuff like that. And it's, like I said, it's everything you expect it to be. And then I kind of expect it to be that way because it's on Freeform, and Freeform is for not me. Like nothing on
No,
that
it's like,
network is not for me.
wasn't that like what was like ABC Family it used to be called?
It was like
they had,
ABC Family, but then
they had like the 700 Club would come on at 10 o'clock and
yeah.
like,
Well, see, they've tweaked it now, so they don't have the same demographic. So it's not like ABC Family, where it's another Jennifer Love Hewitt movie, Christmas movie popping up, stuff like that. Now they're trying to be a little edgier, where they got like the teen romance and TV shows like that. And look, I'm too old for that shit. I don't give a fuck about teen angst or all this shit. I realize everything on that fucking network is too young for me. You know, and that's the thing about Cloak and Dagger. Now, I'm gonna give my opinion on Cloak and Dagger as a show. It is not Inhumans. It is not Iron Fist. It is not like a dog shit show. You like, why the fuck does this shit exist? It's not that. But I will admit, I am not the target demographic for this. I can be like, this show is not for me and just move on. However, I do feel like if whoever is into this shit, like if you love Riverdale, you'll love this shit. You know, this is made for you. But yeah, I'm too old for this shit. I can't watch teen dramas. You know, I can't, to a point you can sprinkle that shit in, but it's like that shit with superhero shit sprinkled in. And that's the thing. You got, remember how we just talked about like branding, like Marvel and Star Wars shit like that? You got some assholes that if you slap Marvel on anything, they'll watch this shit. You know. I've even heard some people comment stuff like that. Ooh, Cloak and Dagger, I wonder which one Thanos is gonna kill. Like, they're not gonna mention Thanos on this shit. This shit is not connected, man. No one cares about this shit. This shit is like in its own separate universe. It's gonna do whatever the fuck it's want to do. No, they didn't mention Thanos at all, the Avengers at all in shows. Man, this show could just exist on its own in a whole completely universe that would make no fucking difference. Now, that being said, like I said, the show is whatever. Let me ask you this, Eli. Have you ever given a fuck about Cloak and Dagger? Like, period.
No, not really.
They never had. And that's the thing about Cloak and Dagger. Like, people saying they were some, like, big thing. They were never a big thing.
No.
They were
the movie with little Elliot from E.T. where he was with Jack Flack and the spy and shit. I remember that movie.
Yeah, but that's what actually Cloak and Dagger means, like some spy shit. This is just, like, it just confused the fuck out of me when I was young. Like, Cloak and Dagger, isn't that like, are they spies? Like, no.
Yeah, in fact, when I picked up a Cloak and Dagger comic, I was like, this ain't got Jack Flack in it.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I would have liked it better if they were some spies or some shit, you know.
Yeah, where's Dabney Coleman in this shit? I don't see it.
Shit was confusing as fuck, man. Like, oh, she has a dagger. He has a cloak. Oh, no, I want spy shit. That's what I want. You know what? Even though Cloak and Dagger was like a bullshit series, and then, like I said, they would throw away Spider-Man villains at first. Then they eventually became like heroes because they thought they could make them a book. They didn't sell. Then they decided to make them mutants, you know, the time to the X-Men. Then when the whole X-Men shit got tied up with Fox, they're like, oh, no, they're not mutants. They're not mutants. Bring them back, you know. So they just always keep trying to make them a thing, but no one ever gave a fuck about Cloak and Dagger. Yeah. Actually,
I do remember for them from New Mutants. Like,
because they tried to make them mutants for a while. They're like, oh, they really got their powers from the mutant gene, you know.
Yeah, like I remember there was a storyline back in the day where they had to, I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't remember. I just remember, I really don't remember it now that I think about it.
Like,
but they were in there.
Yeah, they were in there somewhere. So yeah,
they had to get help from the New Mutants, and they did some shit, and you know.
Yeah. The funny thing is like the concept of Cloak and Dagger, it was actually done better with the Runaways. The Runaways is just a successful version of Cloak and Dagger. That's all it is.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched that yet either. So.
I never watched it either. The comic book is awesome. You know, I didn't watch the TV show because I read the comic. I didn't want it to conflict with what I know from the comic. And most of the shit, most of the TV shows don't live up to what I read in the comics anyway, so I don't even bother. You know. Especially if it's the same shit that happens. Like, what's the point? You know. So I'm cool with what I read. Cloak and Dagger actually shows up in the Runaways comics too. And they make a reference to how they're kind of the same. Cloak and Dagger. We know what you guys are going through. We've done it before. Like, yeah. And the Runaways like, get the fuck out of here, you second rate has-beens. You know, no one gives a fuck about you. So yeah, Cloak and Dagger. Go see it if you like that type of shit. What's next? Oh, now we can talk about the shit that I want to talk about, Eli. Can we talk about some video games?
Oh, yes, please.
All right, let's talk about some video games. Like I said, this weekend is the E3 conference. We are neck deep in it right now. It is not finished. I think so far we have gotten the E3 press conference. We got the Microsoft press conference. And we got the Bethesda press conference. Sony, I think, won't be till Monday or Tuesday or something like that. I think that's what everybody's waiting on right now. Like I said, Eli, all they've been doing is just dropping games and references and stuff like that. That's why I was saying about the Battlefield Front DLC with, they're gonna have Han Solo. Han Solo is gonna be some of the DLC in Battlefield Front 2 also, but not the old Han Solo, new Han Solo. You can play as like the Don Glover Lando in this one. They're gonna have that stuff in there in the Clone Wars. So they're trying to incorporate all that stuff into the new Star Wars Battlefront. What else? Remember we was talking about, what's the name of that game? Fortnite.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how you never played Fortnite before, have you?
No.
Okay, it's whatever. They got this mode called Battle Royale. I've never played the Battle Royale mode of it, but apparently it has pretty much turned the video game industry on its nose because every single shooter that is coming out right now has a Battle Royale mode in it. Battlefield coming out has a Battle Royale mode. They announced a new Halo game supposed to have a Battle Royale mode.
Isn't that just like free for all or something?
I don't know. I mean, if it is, I'm like, if it's just free for all, like, why is everybody going crazy over that? Yeah. All I know is that the Battle Royale mode in Fortnite is free, which is one reason why it's taken off. So I understand why these other games are charging you for Battle Royale. That kind of defeats the purpose of it if you're paying for it. Other games I saw. Only game that like really, really, really excited me so far that I've seen, Eli, is Devil May Cry 5. I gotta have that game. Gotta have it.
Yeah, I haven't played. I used to love those games on the PS2.
Yeah.
Dante. Yeah, those are cool. Yeah, I haven't played one in a while, but
Yeah, so that's the only thing I was saying. Like other games are cool, like Gears, cool, Halo, cool. I don't go there. Devil May Cry, that made me sit up in my seat, like, oh yes, give me another one. Like I said, what's else? Bethesda, like that one, I never played a Bethesda game that I haven't gone to sleep on in 30 minutes. I don't understand why people like those shit like that, Fallout and Oblivion and whatever the fucks. I can't. Looking at that shit is boring as fuck. I don't know. Y'all like this shit, y'all have at it. Yeah, like I said, we'll come to you next week when E3 is finished. We'll talk about that because we damn sure ain't talking about no Incredibles. That being said,
I did see the Gears of War trailer.
Well, they got two Gears of War games coming out.
Okay.
Yeah. So one Gears of War game is a strategy game, like one of those RTSs. Come on! You don't like those games? You don't like Command and Conquer and those type games?
No, I ain't got time for that shit.
Oh man, they're fun. Here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story about one of those strategy games. I play a game called XCOM, I think the name of it is. Okay. And I was playing strategy game, and I was building up my character and stuff like that, and I was putting status points in him and changing his outfit and stuff like that, and gave him a name and all stuff like that. And then I think I got like to the 5th level of the game, stuff like that, and my character died. So I'm thinking like, okay, he dead. When we go back to the base after the mission's over with, I'll just revive him so I can bring him back. But Eli, he was dead. Like dead.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, like all my points I put into him, his name, his clothes, his stats, all that shit was gone. That shit like devastated me, man.
Did you mourn?
I did. I quit playing the game. I like, this shit is too emotional for me, man. I can't play this shit anymore. I can't lose another one. So that made me just quit playing those strategy games altogether because I lost my guy. So yeah, but that
I used to play Gears. I was really, especially the second one.
Yeah, the second one was fun as hell, man.
Playing Horde mode. I just sit there and play Horde mode.
Yeah. So that's the thing. They have a Gears 5 coming out. They do have a Gears 5.
I didn't beat the last game. I did play the last one, but I didn't beat it. But I wasn't into it because for like half the game you're shooting robots.
Robots? What about the monsters you were shooting other?
Yeah, they don't. No, you're like, it's in the future where the locusts or whatever, they got like these robot drones like policing humanity, and you're like, so for like the first half of the game you're like shooting all these robots.
Well, can you still chainsaw them in half and stuff?
I can't remember. No, because you don't get those guns until you meet up with what's his face? Because you're playing Marcus Phoenix.
So what's the point?
You have like halfway through the game, you meet up with Marcus Phoenix, and he fucking pulls out his arsenal with all the chainsaw guns, and then you get to play that. But by that time, I mean, I was already like, had been playing it because I don't get to play all day like I used to. I was already playing it for like a week, and I just like didn't find time to finish playing it and shit.
Whack.
Yeah, so I didn't beat the last game, but I played all the other ones. You know.
I think I played like the first two. They were fun, but I haven't either had an Xbox long enough to play the rest of them, or I sold the Xbox and just never bothered with it. So I don't know. This new one's coming out on PC, so I get a chance. You know.
Ice-T was like did a voice on one of them. I think it was 3.
Oh, have you heard that Dave Bautista wants to make a Gears movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to play Marcus Phoenix. So I'm like, you know.
Yeah, they need big ass dude. They need just all of WWE wrestlers to play.
Yeah, they need to do like Cole Train. He like based after a real guy. You know, that Terry Tate guy. You know, just there you go. Just throw him in the movie.
Get a bunch of wrestlers to play.
And you would have your movie. Have them just chop up a bunch of dudes and that's it. You know. Yeah. So it sounds like easy money. I don't understand it.
Yeah, R-rated, chainsaw, gore.
See, and that's where they're gonna fuck up. They're gonna make it PG-13.
Yeah.
That's where they're gonna fuck up. They're not even gonna show him chainsaw and the camera's gonna cut away and shit, you know.
Yeah.
So that's that bullshit.
Yeah. Or the blood will be like blue or some shit, you know.
Yeah, or Suicide Squad where everybody's gonna be tar, you know. So you can't even see it when you're killing somebody.
Monsters and shit.
I'm like, oh man, they Hollywood will find a way to fuck this shit up. They don't understand the shit that made this shit popular in the other medium. How to make it popular in a movie. Like, they just do stupid shit to fuck your shit up, you know. Just take the shit that was popular. Like, Mortal Kombat, they fucked Mortal Kombat up. I know y'all love that movie, but you can't do a PG-13 Mortal Kombat. It doesn't work. If you had a PG-13 Mortal Kombat game, that shit wouldn't sell. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking Hollywood. All right, can we move on to the part to pay the bills now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Like I said, I think I know what you read. I don't know what you read, but anyway. This is the part where we pay the bills, the part where we actually talk about the comic books. Like I said, we're not like every other podcast in Outright Geekery's network. We don't talk about every single comic book that came out this entire week because we don't know all of them. We just know what we read. So we're just going to start with like the most popular ones, kind of go from that one. The first one I want to start off with is Justice League 1, and this is not No Justice, this is New Justice. So, yeah, this how I start off. And Eli, your boy wrote this one. Scott Snyder.
Boy?
Yeah, Scott Snyder. Oh, let me see.
Not to be confused with Zach.
Exactly. So basically how the book starts off, that you got this huge beam of light headed towards Earth. And it's so big that every single part of the multiverse and timeline can see this beam headed towards Earth. And even like the gods of the universe are seeing the shit like that going there. And it's like, this is not good that beam of light is heading there. So we cut to the present day, and we got the Justice League fighting a horde of Neanderthals. And of course, they know that the Neanderthal army must have been sent by Vandal Savage. Vandal Savage pretty much sending his army to attack every single part of the thing. He's attacking the water, he's attacking the underground, he's attacking the skies, he's attacking the Arctic, he's attacking the North Pole. And the Justice League are just kind of beating the fuck out of these guys. They're like, yeah, it's Vandal Savage guys. We've done this 100 times, whatever. They're beating these guys so bad that they're actually telling jokes between each other. Like Flash is talking like Batman the entire time. Like, I don't need this stuff. You know, doing his rough voice. And then Wonder Woman is like beating a whole bunch of dudes, and Martian Manhunter like, do you need help, Wonder Woman? She's like, no, because I'm the goddamn Wonder Woman, you know. And Flash like, good one. You know. That's a good Batman right there. And then, you know, and Cyborg is like saying some Batman shit, but he's like, no, I'm not gonna do my Batman voice because Superman's right here with me, and nobody can do a better Batman voice than Superman. I think that's a nod to like the old cartoon where Superman did a Batman voice so good that it fooled Commissioner Gordon. But anyway, past that, Martian Manhunter is quarterbacking the whole thing from space. You know, he's basically seeing the Justice League, telling him where to go here, go there. You got bad guys behind, stuff like that. But something goes wrong, and somehow the Earth crust actually comes up from the Earth and it's like it's about to eject itself from space. And they're like, this is bad. Like, what's going on? Batman scans the ground. He's like, okay, it's not coming from the crust. And Hawk Girl scans the sky. She's like, something's not in the sky. Wonder Woman says it's not magic. And Martian Manhunter finds out, okay, I know what it is. It's the moon. Something is on the moon is making the crust coming from the Earth and it's trying to escape itself from the Earth. So we got to stop before it happens. So he tells Batman, I'm going to ram into the moon as hard as I can. We got to destroy the moon. Like, it's the only way we're going to save the Earth. I'm going to destroy the moon. I'm going to ram to the moon as hard as possible. I need you to activate the nukes that you put on the moon when nobody was looking. Batman's like, what are you talking about? I didn't. He's like, come on, Bruce. It's me. He's like, okay, go ahead. I'll give you 5 minutes and I'll blow up the moon for you. So he hits the moon at the same time. Batman blows up the nukes. They blow up the fucking moon. Moon's gone. And they save the Earth, and the Earth goes back down to there. So Vandal Savage is in, his Legion of Doom base, and he's like, "Oh fuck, they fucked up the moon." And then somebody walks in, and it's Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor's like, "Yeah, your plan is gonna fail because you didn't put your faith in us." So he takes out Vandal Savage, and he takes out Vandal Savage so fast that all of the Neanderthals in the room start worshiping Luthor. They're like, "Hail Luthor, hail Luthor!" Like, we want to join your Injustice gang, Luthor. They're like, let me think about it. And he hits a button and he ejects them all out of the Legion of Doom and kill all of them. Back to the Justice League, Martian Manhunter says, when I blew up the moon, I saw something else a part of Vandal Savage's plan. I need to have a conference call with all of you right now. Psychic Borg removed him right. Snaps his finger now. And then they're all in space surrounded by the Hall of Justice rooms like that. And he's like, okay, here's what's going on. There's this huge beam of light. Remember when we blew up the source wall? All of the energy of the source wall shot out of the sort of wall right now, and it's headed towards Earth right now. It's called the totality. And we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to blow up the Earth or we don't know if it's going to save the Earth, but it's on its way in 3 minutes. And the Justice League's having a conference. They're like, okay, we need to do something because according to what Hal Jordan told us a while ago, we probably have a year before the entire multiverse dies anyway. So maybe this totality might save us. But then Aquaman's like, nah, I've seen too many evil gods try to destroy us. So whatever that thing is, we need to stop it right now. And they're like, well, even if we did want to stop it, how are we going to stop it? And Batman says, don't worry, I have a contingency plan. And Flash's like, well, of course you do. So he tells him, I got John Stewart floating out in space right now. I gave him a bullet made of 10th metal. It'll blow that shit back to the source wall. All you got to do is just give me the go, John. And they were like, well, before we do that, we need to have a conference call about that. One of them were like, no, fuck all that. You make the call. You're the leader of Justice League, Martian Manhunter. What are you going to do? And before they can do that, he has some kind of flashback and he kind of sees what the totality is going to be. It's like some kind of horrible thing. And he decides to just let it go. He decides to just let it go and hit the Earth. Back on the Earth, we cut back to Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor's like, okay, and he has Vandal Savage hostage, and he said, oh, guess what? We have company coming. So they knock on the door, he opens the door, and it's the Legion of Doom. You got Joker, you got Gorilla Grodd, you got Cheetah, probably some other dudes in there too. I can't remember stuff like that. But anyway, Luthor takes out this rock, and he's like, Vandal, I know your secret. And he beats Vandal Savage to death. Now, how he beat an immortal to death, I have no idea. But anyway, that's what he did. And that beam flies all the way to Earth, I guess directly to the Legion of Doom's base, and that's how it ends. So you got two different stories going on. You got the Justice League trying to stop the beam, and you got Lex Luthor with the Legion of Doom trying to start the beam. So obviously it's like Justice League versus Legion of Doom. So they're really trying to build this thing up. So that's what's going on. Overall, pretty fun book. It was convoluted at first. Snyder loves to stuff this stuff with dialogue as much as possible, but it's some stuff in there I like. He has the Hall of Justice in there. He has the original team from the Justice League cartoon in there. Plus he has Aquaman and Cyborg who wasn't in there, so you got like a roster of 9 in there also. The Legion of Doom is back. They got the old Legion of Doom base. They actually never called themselves the Legion of Doom before in the comics, so that's a new thing. And Lex Luthor's a bad guy again. So yeah. Cool. What's not to like,
Cool.
Yep. So yeah, I'll let you go. I'll let you go next on whatever book you got.
I guess I'll do the Prelude to the Wedding Part 2. Mm-hmm. Nightwing versus Hush. So this is as we all know, Catwoman and Batman are about to get married, and this is like a leading up to the wedding. We have Batman is being taken out for like a bachelor party by Superman and Nightwing, but then Hush shows up and fucks it all up by throwing a missile launcher. They were gonna take him, instead of like taking him to like a strip club or whatever. They were gonna take him to Superman knew this like portal that would take him to this alternate mini verse, which is just basically a pond with a boat and fishing poles. So that was gonna be their bachelor party. They were just gonna go fishing.
Yeah, no strippers, no Harley Quinn on a pole.
No, none of that shit.
Fuck.
Just I guess he just wanted some peace and quiet. So, but before they get to enter the doorway to this, to this little mini universe, Hush shows up, blows up the fucking doorway, and then Hush and Nightwing get sucked through this portal, but they don't get sucked to the pond universe. They get sucked into this weird I forget what it's called, but it's like this universe where these beings, like, they have no faces, and they're like, they have no identity, and they're basically after Hush and Nightwing because they have identity. So they're fighting these like faceless beings and shit, and the whole time they're just like there's this banter back and forth of Hush, basically jealous that he's not a part of Bruce's life and all that shit, even though he used to be Bruce's best friend when he was a little kid and all this shit. So they fight off these weird faceless monsters. And finally, I forgot to tell you, Hush takes off his mask, and he's got Dick's face.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But then because he was basically trying to become Dick Grayson, because he feels that Dick Grayson had a better relationship with Bruce than he did. So Superman, they basically, the portal gets open, they rescue Nightwing, they get him back. Hush, I believe, still in there. It basically ends with, Bruce and Dick sitting on the couch, and Nightwing is basically, is Superman your best man? And for the wedding, and he's like, I understand. He's like, he's Superman. He should be your best man. But and then they kind of like, what? We should hang out sometime, though. We should, not be superheroes and hang out sometime. So it's like the sentimental ending. And then of course the epilogue. The Joker's been going around fucking shit up because he hasn't gotten his invitation yet. And it shows the Riddler is sitting in a room with a bunch of his thugs all dead, and he's sitting. There's written in blood on the floor is "Where's my invitation?" Ha.
Wow.
So the next one coming up is Batgirl versus Riddler. I was a little disappointed in this one because last week we had Damian versus Ra's al Ghul. Mm-hmm. That was the first part of Prelude to the Wedding or whatever. And that was great. I really liked that book. That was cool. Seeing, Damian, go face to face with his grandpa and shit. So that was a lot of fun. And so coming into this, I was like, oh shit, Hush. I haven't seen him in a while.
Well, that's what I meant to ask you. Like you say, you've been keeping up with Batman for a while. Has Hush ever showed up in the New 52?
I haven't seen him in a while. It's been a while since I've seen Hush.
I'm saying, have you ever seen Hush in New 52?
I don't recall ever seeing.
That's what I'm saying. It's weird, Eli. It's like the New 52 doesn't exist anymore. It's like they're ignoring shit that happened. Like, for instance, like Martian Manhunter is in Justice League. I was just reading it. Like, Martian Manhunter is the leader of the Justice League now, and he keeps making you reference about how I came back to them. But now I think about it, he never was a member of the New 52 team. No. So, but they just acting like he was just always there. So it's almost like, fuck it, there is no New 52. It's just whatever you remember, that's what happened. Well,
to tell you the truth, I really didn't need Hush back. Because in this book, he just sounds like a whiny bitch. Because I'm so jealous. Batman's
kind of always
me.
Was, though.
And like, he was. Yeah, his story was cool when he's fucking with them and it's revealed and the big twist at the end. Yeah, but now that we know who he is, he's just a crybaby.
Well, the thing is, I feel like the other writers don't know what to do with Hush. Like they realize he's a cool character, but he don't, because the thing was in the original story, like he's the guy that taught Batman prep time. No, he's supposed to be that guy. But now it's just like they don't know what to do. Let's just have him change his face. Let's just have him be in the shadows. He looks cool, but they really don't get the character. That's the thing.
Yeah, and it was just a series. It was just basically a bunch of banter of him kind of just whining to Dick and jealous of Batman, jealous of Dick, jealous of why he's not going to the wedding. He's just like, oh, goddamn, dude. Quite emo. He's like, just do you need a hug, guy? What the fuck? You know? So yeah, I was a little disappointed. I'll give it, fuck it. I'll give this a 2 out of 5.
Damn, that bad. I mean, was the artwork at least pretty decent? Or?
The artwork was fine. It's just I just wasn't like. First of all, it was like it just went to the. It was just weird. It was just okay. Let's go to the secret universe, and then this weird secret universe with fucking people with no faces and this weird story of identity. And I guess that was the thread of, trying not having your own identity. I get that. We're being a little artsy here. But other than that, I was like, it was just him whining. And I was like, So yeah, I was disappointed. So.
Oh, well. I bet you if Harley was stripping at the bachelor party, you would have gave it a higher score. But.
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah.
Let me go next. Okay, the next book I got is we're gonna stick with this Brian Michael Bendis Superman thing, and we have Man of Steel 2. Like I said, it's gonna be a weekly series, so they're cranking these out.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to read it yet, so.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So basically, how the book starts out is that Krypton explodes. Duh. Okay, happens again, and on this planet, like a few star systems away with like that, you got one of the Guardians of the Universe, the guys that make the Green Lantern things, and this guy named Gandeo, whatever like that. Basically, he's like the god of the Milky Way, so whatever like that. And he's asking this Guardians of the Universe, I get it, Krypton blown up. How the hell did Krypton blow up under my watch? How did this happen? He's like, it just happened. No, this shit just don't happen. What happened? Where was your Green Lantern that's supposed to be watching Krypton? I don't know. Like, you're in charge of Green Lantern. How do you not know? See, none of this stuff is making sense because you have Rogul Zar, who had a conversation with us about destroying Krypton. We told him no. And all of a sudden, Krypton blows up, and your Green Lantern, and when we sent you to go talk to him to tell him no, and all of a sudden, Krypton blows up, and your Green Lantern doesn't say anything about it. You see how fishy this sounds? He was like, well, first off, you know who Rogul Zar is. You know how crazy this guy is, how he just blows up planets for no reason for his own cause. If he finds out you're asking all these questions, what do you think he's going to do to you? He was like, oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, so you better hope if he did have something to do with Krypton blowing up, you better hope he blew up with Krypton and we buried all these secrets together. That way, none of us can get in trouble for this stuff. But no, I did not know what happened to Krypton. It's just as mystery as it is to you. And then it kind of just part ways, stuff like that. And we cut back to regular time in Metropolis, and Superman is in Coast City. He's in Coast City. The reason he's going to Coast City is because he sees his old bad guy, Toy Man, there, who's like a giant robot transformer, something like that. So you get a cool Superman versus Transformer fight. Of course, Superman beats him up, rips off his head, rips off his hand, stuff like that. And he sees Toy Man inside of there. And Toy Man's like, why are you here? I even left Metropolis so you couldn't find me. So how did you find me all the way out here? He like, I can find you anywhere, Toy Man. It doesn't matter. So he like, die, Superman. And he shoots Superman with a flamethrower. Superman doesn't care. He throws venomous spiders at Superman that shoots lasers. Superman doesn't care. And then while he's doing all this stuff, Green Lantern swoops in. Hal Jordan swoops in. He like, Superman, where you been? We've been trying to get in contact with you for the longest. He like, don't worry about it. I've been busy. But I tell you what, Green Lantern, you can give Clark Kent a story right now. And Hal Jordan's like, don't try to change the subject. Clark, where have you been? You don't talk to us. You don't associate with us. Sorry, Green Lantern, I gotta go. Bye. And he just flies off. But he just leaves Toy Man with Green Lantern. But then they cut back and they saying, actually something else happens completely that I missed. In the Daily Planet, apparently Lois Lane has been missing for some time.
Oh, yeah.
Not only Lois Lane and Jonathan Kent have been missing for a time. And matter of fact, that's what I thought would happen in the last book. When they had this,
like some bright light happens and then it just ends.
Exactly. That bright light was actually a flashback. So when we saw Clark Kent in the last book, when he looked at that picture of Lois and Jonathan, they were already gone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it was a flashback what happened. So apparently Lois and Jonathan have been gone for a while. Nobody knows what happened. Clark isn't talking. So it's like a rumor in the office. They thinking like Lois might have ran into some money, took Jonathan and just ditched Clark because he's boring. Maybe she got tired of that Smallville boring shit. She just left home or whatever. So yeah, but